if Charlie Kirk, at 25 or 26 years old, having led TP USA for 7 or 8 years, had sent these messages to a 15 or 16-year-old, would he have survived?
These are the alleged texts between Erika Kirk and a 15-year-old back in 2013.
Eyes, your lips, your skin, you're absolutely beautiful. Jill responds, crying emoji, you're making me cry. I mean, if that was your 15-year-old daughter, would you want her to be getting these kinds of messages from a 25-year-old? Let me call you on hold, sweetheart. Give me a X. Wow. Okay, laughing emoji. Sec. 2, but not from you. Lol. Holy shit. You always make me laugh. Erika responds, I don't bat for the other team just yet.
But here's what nobody is connecting. Let's go back to 2013. Erika France, not yet Erika Kirk, is 25 years old, polished, beautiful, and building what looks on paper like the perfect conservative woman resume. Former Miss Arizona, ties to Christian activism, nonprofit work, a boyfriend in the NBA. She's in Michigan, following Joshua Harrelson, who was playing for the Detroit Pistons at the time. And from the outside, everything looks fine. But on September 15th, 2013, something happens that most people slept on for over a decade. Erika, along with Josh, crosses paths with a 15-year-old girl named Jillian Falcon. We know the exact timeline because Jillian herself was live tweeting her evening in real time. At 3:53 p.m., she tweets she's out for sushi with a friend. 2 hours later, the tweet changes. Just met Miss Arizona and Josh Harrelson. Heart eyes emoji. Now here's where we have to be precise about what matters and what doesn't. A teenager gushing over a pageant queen she just met? That's not a story. Teenagers do that. What makes this a story is what allegedly happens next. Because instead of a polite wave and a forgotten exchange, something far more persistent begins to take shape. Over the following weeks, Jillian keeps tweeting about off-Twitter conversations. Erika's account quietly goes private, but Jillian's side stays completely public, and it paints a picture. Still waiting for that lunch date. We miss you. Thank you, Erika, for making my whole week. And then this. One day, I'm going to wake up, roll over, and kiss the love of my life good morning. Directed at a 25-year-old woman. Now, you could say that's just teenage talk. I'd agree with you if the 25-year-old had shut it down. A responsible adult reads that and ends the conversation. Period. No debate, no nuance. You end it. But according to the evidence that has surfaced, Erika didn't.
Forgot to tell you, hydrate tonight, no alcohol, and don't eat a lot of salty foods. You don't want to look bloated. Jill responds, thank you. Erika responds, no alcohol? Really, Erika? Age recognition, twat waffle. Apparently, I haven't had my coffee yet.
Here's what Baron Coleman, who spent hours going through this timeline frame by frame, pointed out that nobody else caught. She doesn't just mention alcohol, she corrects herself and then jokes about it. She plays it off. Age recognition, tweet waffle. Apparently I haven't had my coffee, like it was an accident. But here's the question nobody answered. What were they doing the next day that Erika didn't want a 15-year-old to look bloated for? That question has never been answered. And then there's the typo that wasn't really a typo. Let me call you. Hold on, sweetheart. Give me a and before you jump to, no, sure, X and C are right next to each other on the keyboard. That defense exists. But Coleman didn't buy it. And here's why. The follow-up is what kills the typo argument. The alleged response was, X2, but not from you. I don't bat for the other team just yet.
I want to just throw out the term grooming haphazardly, but it doesn't look good.
Adults do not flirt their way out of a typo with a minor. That's not how normal human beings respond to an accident. A normal person says, sorry, typo, and moves on. What Erika allegedly did was lean into it. Nighttime conversation, flirty redirect, and a promise of something she's not yet willing to give. Not yet. And then the Valentine's content. Jillian tweets, why did Erika France just send me this? And attached to that tweet is a meme. Nemo, that children's movie character, with the caption, this Valentine's Day, I'm going to touch your butt. Followed in a private text exchange that Jillian later shared by something even more explicit. I want to be inside your lady garden. After that, there were chocolate-covered strawberries mailed to Jillian's home, a personal Valentine-coded gift sent privately to a minor, and then the birthday message. Jillian turns 16, and the alleged message from Erika reads, Happy sweet 16, beautiful girl. Keep strong in faith and know that you're loved. Enjoy the trip, boo. Love you. Coleman's reaction said it all. Now, maybe girls call each other boo. I was always under the impression you called people boo when you were in love with them. Then, when Jillian posts a photo from what appears to be a family trip to Puerto Rico, a beach scene, beautiful water, Erika allegedly responds with unreal gorgeous. And when Jillian calls her perfect, the alleged response is just 3 dots, ... That
is a flirty gesture that is the equivalent of a woman biting her lip and staring into your eyes. ... That's what the ... means, in my opinion.
Yes, I know you are. And here's what Coleman flagged that nobody else was tracking. After Jillian posts a picture with a boy, a young man she clearly has affection for, Erika allegedly texts her within minutes, "No new friends." She's monitoring this girl's social media in real time. She sees the boy. She sends the territorial text immediately. That's not a coincidence. That's a pattern. Baron Coleman was deliberate about the word he chose. He didn't go for shock value. He used one word, repeatedly, carefully, conditioning. And when you lay out the 8-month timeline, October 2013 through June 2014, the escalation is impossible to ignore. It starts with compliments, moves to nicknames and terms of endearment, escalates to late-night conversations and physical compliments, then sexualized memes and explicit messages, then gifts to the home, then territorial behavior, then physical descriptions that read like a catalog. Your eyes, your lips, your skin. Jillian herself, now when reached by researchers, said she never thought anything was weird at the time. She said Erika felt like a big sister. The compliments were validating. They boosted her self-esteem. And Coleman's response to that was probably the most chilling thing said across all of this material. Someone conditioning a minor would know that that is going to be the result of that type of language. The audience at the time didn't see it as grooming. That's not a defense. That's the point. Now here's where this gets bigger than one girl's story, because the people asking questions about Erika Kirk aren't just asking about 2013. They're asking about the entire arc. And when Baron Coleman laid it out, it was one of the more methodical analyses that's come out of any of this. Sheep dipping. That's the intelligence community term for taking an asset and immersing them in a fabricated civilian identity. Entertainment, nonprofits, academia, real estate, all legitimate-looking covers. All impossible to verify from the outside.
Her background is meticulously crafted. It's diverse enough to explain her global travel and elite access, but when you look a little closer, it has massive holes in it. Nothing she has ever done has been particularly successful.
Think about it. She claimed to be an actress, almost no credits. She claimed to be a model, almost no portfolio anyone can find. She launched a clothing line. Almost no evidence anyone bought anything. She hosted a podcast, a few hundred listens per episode. She became a licensed real estate agent in New York City after meeting Charlie Kirk, and left shortly after with almost no recorded transactions. Every single line on the resume checks out on the surface. None of it built anything real. Except access. The nonprofits gave her humanitarian credibility and travel justification. The pageants gave her entry into elite circles and events. The entertainment work, however thin, gave her global mobility and a cover story. The real estate license gave her a network of wealthy people and access to multi-million-dollar properties. And then, in 2018, while simultaneously studying for her New York real estate exam, she somehow ends up in a job interview at a then relatively small nonprofit in Phoenix, Arizona, called Turning Point USA. She meets Charlie Kirk in September 2018, engaged 2020, married 2021, 2 children in rapid succession. And then, in September 2025, Charlie Kirk is dead. And Erika, the woman with no real business track record, no major organizational success, no operational experience running anything at scale, is unanimously installed as CEO and chairwoman of an organization with nearly $100 million in assets, widely considered one of the most influential political organizations in America. Days later, no board fight, no deliberation, and now layer the messages back on top of everything else. Because here's what people started asking when all of this landed at once. Ghislaine Maxwell didn't brand herself as a trafficker. She was a socialite, a connector, a woman with impeccable access, and a very curated public image. The warning signs were there for years. People wrote her off as an ambitious social climber. The comparison isn't made lightly. It's made because the pattern rhymes. A woman with intelligence-adjacent family ties, built through glamour industries, gaining access to minors through validating language, emotional bombing, territorial behavior, and doing all of this while simultaneously managing a persona that made her impossible to question. And Jillian's account? She said she didn't think it was weird at the time. Erika felt like a big sister, which Coleman noted is exactly what successful conditioning is supposed to feel like from the inside. The internet is now asking whether Jillian was the only one, whether Erika's role in the Romanian orphanage, her work with youth-focused nonprofits, and TPUSA's aggressive push into high schools across America all belong to the same operational thread. Those questions don't have answers yet. What we do know is this. 1 week before Charlie Kirk died, 1 week, Erika posted the last episode of her podcast, Midweek Rise Up. Up, a devotional. She talked about how people are always watching how you respond when things don't go your way. She talked about forgiveness of offenses. She talked about carrying burdens no one else can see. And she said, on camera, the day before everything changed, I wouldn't be calm. I don't trust myself.
She's telling you right now, stop. She's showing you why she gets the crazy face. She wouldn't be calm. I barely go to those. Only because I don't trust myself.
Whether that was a warning, a confession, or something else entirely, nobody has been able to explain it. What everyone can agree on is this: the messages were real. The girl was 15, the woman was 25. The pattern stretched 8 months, and the woman at the center of that pattern now sits at the head of one of the most powerful conservative organizations in the country. The receipts are out there, the timeline is documented, and the internet, as Coleman put it, isn't unseeing what it's already seen. If you know something, if you were there, if something about this timeline doesn't add up, you know where to find this community.